Ariella, I'm glad that we had this time to catch up and talk today. Can you first, you know, you had played a vital part in starting, I would say, a chain of kindness here in Buffalo, but right now you're actually not in Buffalo. You're out of the area. Where are you now?
So I live in Los Angeles, but right now I am currently in Aruba, which was supposed to be my family vacation, but obviously my parents and my brother are in Buffalo.
So they're here, and we're talking about the Buffalo blizzard that hit Buffalo, and it was unprecedented. I would say a once in a lifetime event. um can you tell me about your incredible act of kindness?
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning of hearing about this storm. Obviously, my family was kind of getting ready to go on our family trip that we take every year, and Thursday afternoon came, and I believe that's when it was a category 3 hurricane wind warning. I knew there would be at least one Facebook group that someone in Buffalo had made that people could connect and try and help out each other in any way they could. And I was closely following it, and the stories were just breaking my heart. People who were stranded in their cars with a cell phone that was about to die, no food, running out of gas, and they they were just expressing that they felt like they were going to die in those moments. And unfortunately, when it got to the point where someone had said in the group, you can listen to the police scanner to get updates, when I had gotten on there and they were starting to announce DOAs, that's when I kicked into overdrive, and I was constantly refreshing that Facebook feed and listen to the police scanner and just see if I could put two and two together for maybe someone who was looking for someone.
You ended up ordering food for people at Buffalo General Hospital that were stranded and workers who were working extra long hours. Can you tell me about how that formed and who was involved?
I messaged my mom and I said, okay, I don't know what's going to happen, what this is going to turn into, but I know that Buffalo General is running out of food. I've gotten in touch with someone who's working there, and there are a bunch of other people who are willing to donate to pitch in to order from Just Pizza. Just Pizza is open, they're not delivering. We need to find someone who's willing to deliver. She said, on it. I said, you're just going to have to be in charge of coordinating everything on the ground. It was like we had this whole operation going all of a sudden. The next thing I did was try and find someone who was able to actually go and pick up the order and then take it to Buffalo General. So I had posted saying, if you have a large commercial vehicle or even a snowmobile, let me know. And a few people had reached out to me. One of them, his name was Brandon, had mentioned that he needed to get to his grandparents' house, I think earlier in the day or the day before. He knows that his car is fine in the snow and he lives nearby. He was more than happy to offer to go pick it up. And
Wow.
obviously, I said, are you sure? Probably about 3 times, if not more.
You really understood that Brandon was taking a risk to do that. And I'm glad that you triple checked. And we're thankful that Brandon did deliver that food. And I know we are all very thankful that Brandon made it there and back safely.
He was able to deliver, I want to say, 20 plus pizzas that we were
Wow.
that we were able to order with donations from obviously complete strangers. And Just Pizza kindly donated a generous amount of pizzas themselves to the order. I asked him to send me a picture afterwards with all the pizzas. Just, I wanted to make sure that, first of all, he was safe and everything was fine. But I also just wanted to recognize him for what he was doing, because I'm sure to him it didn't seem like such a big deal, but to everyone in that hospital and everyone that was able to get a slice of pizza after not having any food for, at that point, 17 hours, they
Hmm.
needed to know, this person brought this food for you.
My show is about good things, and sometimes it gets difficult to report on tragic situations, but when there's so much good in it, it keeps you going. It's definitely sad to hear about all the lives that we've lost, and it's beyond tragic for Western New York. Do you think that social media had a huge role to play in the response in this effort?
I posted on my social media, and within the few hours that I was on the airplane, I was able to raise, at that point, over $1,000. I'd say at this point, with people still wanting to donate, well over $2,000. My mom also was able to connect with you, and that is how we continued our efforts to then find another place that was able to deliver food to Oshai Children's Hospital.
The little bakery popped up and took our order. Your mom called again. She's the phone person.
Exactly. My mom had told me that she called, and they were almost arguing with her that there was no way that they were going to take any money from her in order to get food to people who needed food. It's so beyond me how at times like these, people are just so willing to help and do literally anything they can. And I know that people really appreciate knowing exactly how they are helping when they're doing something such as donating money. So I have responded to a few people who wanted to donate before we had the second effort in line. And I said, once we find where your money's going, I'll let you know. So I've messaged saying, you donated this much, you bought this many pizzas, which probably was able to feed this many people. Like, you literally saved lives without knowing it or without thinking
Yeah.
you were even able to.
It's been a pleasure talking with you today and getting to know more about your act of kindness. I want to honorably mention Michelle, your mom, who pitched in her efforts, and Brandon, the driver who drove the food, your first order to Buffalo General Hospital. The little bakery. If you folks are watching now this interview, give them a call. They are one of many businesses that stepped up to help our community, and we need to remember them as we move forward. And we'll be back to continue Good Deeds Buffalo right after this.
Make sure to follow us on all of the latest social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.